Alright everyone, Supreme Kami over here, so back for more Thursday night update. And man, they out here dropping some really good banners. Like they're not playing this week around. Like they're dropping like an exclusively new banner. It's gonna be called the Miss Sasabi, piloted by Aina from the original build fighter series over here. So they're not holding back. They're dropping every best possible banner this week, and they're trying to make you summon. They're trying to make you buy those packs so you can summon those banners because they're supposedly really good. So let us do kind of go over the regular news first. So in terms of the next week's arena, it's going to be number 117 already. That's cool. Okay. For 1v1, they want us to use the Gundam type word tag, and then if you do have that active, you'll receive 150% boosting to all your parameters. So that's always going to be good. So that will allow you to just, deal more damage, allow you to do a little bit more what is it, overkill bonus if possible. In terms of the 3v3, they want us to use it for desert to our operator base, so you can definitely attain more points when you do have the active. So let's kind of see what's cooking today in terms of Thursday night banners. So alright, so we have a super step up full set cap. So okay, so in terms of this overall banner, it's pretty much the same thing that we have gotten like for the past few times already. So not gonna be anything too special in terms of overall rate. So first step, so in terms of rating, to be exact, every step is gonna get an increment of 5 increase percentage right there. So you're gonna start things up by 5%, 10%, 15%, and then finish things up by 20%. I'm not gonna say that the rate is gonna be extremely good in terms of like what your luck can be and what my luck can be. For example, I can pull like hot garbage, for example, and maybe you guys will be able to pull like straight out of like everything can be 6-star on the spot. So it just really depends right there. So in terms of that, do keep that in mind. You are only summoning for the full set, which means you are summoning for the head parts to the back part of that full suit of that specific unit. You're not going to be getting any weaponry, so no melee weapon, no ranged weapon, and no shield. So do kind of keep that in mind in terms of completing overall build. You will need a pair of good melee weapon for your melee build to be optimal, and then you will need a good pair of ranged weapon for your shooting builds, etc. So I mean, like in terms of the step up, I want to say it's not bad to go for it, because you guys got to keep that in mind. They're also going to drop a exclusively. This one is going to be guaranteed if you had 20 coupons, so that's going to be per usual. But they're actually going to be reducing the cost in terms of how much it takes to get that 20 coupons over there. So I would have to say, if you guys are like a new player starting out your new account, and then you guys kind of need some parts to kind of go through the game, trying to beat some content, I think summoning for this one on this banner is definitely really good. Just do one rotation, don't go any further, because in terms of what kind of rate after that, it really depends. In terms of these like normal right there, they really vary from player to player. You may get some really good luck and you may not, so that's that. And then the other banner we are getting just a regular banner. So this is a regular 7-star banner right here, Miss Sasabi capsule right there. So in terms of Miss Sasabi, I don't know, like this unit is definitely a lot more better than the other two that we have gotten early this week. So they were planning they 200 IQs right there, literally, because like what is it, the Amazon Prime Gundam as well as the Aegis Knight, they were not good as this one. I can say that like any time today probably, because in terms of what this one is doing, I feel like the parameters definitely better, and then what kind of portrait is giving out, I think they're a lot more phenomenal in a way. So I mean, maybe I could be biased and maybe the other two were better than this one, but who knows. I will definitely be doing a separate alteration review for this one over here, but this time around I'm just going to be exclusively talking about the spinner and why you summon on, and then not really why you summon on, but like kind of take advantage of it, because this is probably the first time, and this will probably not be the last time to do this kind of like format. So in terms of this, right, you need the coupon. So the only way to summon on this one, the guarantee, is that you're gonna accumulate some coupon from summoning on this banner, and they made the coupon a lot more easy to get. So if you take a look at the freebie, look at that. They're dropping the limited time full set capsule voucher at 5x. Normally they do this at 1x, so you have to do what, around 10 rotations. So you need to do 2 steps of this and then plus another 2, so you need to do full 10. I believe, is it, no, they used to drop 1 ticket per, right? So you need to do at least 20 rounds, I believe, right? Was that how it goes? I kind of forgot, but usually it will take you around 1500. So 15,000. So you're literally the cost of this one is like significantly reduced by at least, how many percent is that? Like at least 80%. That's how cheap it has become. So I mean, if you guys do have some hard chips left over, like 3,000 at least, kind of go for it because it's actually quite good. In terms of the actual hard chip you need to spend for the whole set, like the whole rotation, is gonna cost you 3,000. So they're cutting the cost initially by 750 already. To 750, 750, and then 750. So it's gonna cost you 3,000 in total. So I mean, it's only 3,000, so I think it's not too bad. So if you guys do have that love for over 3,000, definitely go for that because they're packing some pretty high unit in here as well. In terms of the overall roster, we have the double XM riser already, so that means it's really good. But do kind of keep that in mind, no L badges, and then no melee weapon, ranged weapon, and shield. So that is kind of my only kind of like say the cons of this banner. The pros is definitely really cheap. You can get some SoCap parts at a cost of like 3,000, so that's actually really good. And then no L badges, I think that's arguably the worst thing possible because you won't be able to alter your parts, you won't be able to get that, you just won't be able to achieve this maximum capacity possible at the beginning, which is fair. I kind of understand that. If you guys don't want that, don't L badges, no summoning, that's totally fine. But I'm just letting you guys know the value of this banner is not bad, like it's actually really good. So in terms of L badges, you can definitely wait for a banner like these one over here, giving the revive over here. So in terms of how the revive actually works, so whenever they bring back 2 suits during that given week, you guys see the revive icon over there. You guys can just summon basically on any banner that will drop a specific material, the build project material for that week, and then you guys can go over to the event exchange over here and kind of pick up whichever one you need to kind of alter it, right? So you can look at item, and then you guys with the material, like this week's material over here, you guys can exchange for a L badge for either the Impulsar right there or the Sahara therapy. So I mean, whichever way works for you. If you don't want to summon on it for like, oh, I want to save for a banner, that will be really good. That will drop L badges, that will drop a lot of good 6 parts, like the SoCal parts or the Gundam Fest part. Kind of go for that, right? I think the decision is definitely in your hands, but I'm just letting you guys know how beneficial like this banner can be. So I think that's gonna be pretty much it in terms of this video. I'm just gonna be talking about this banner, and then in terms of Miss Sasabi, I'll be doing another video besides this one over here because I do want to compare how we're looking like in terms of stat. But I gotta say that in terms of Miss Sasabi, they're definitely packing a lot of like really strong defensive, like armor wise is really high, defensive stat is really high as well. So I mean, it's definitely a really good unit. But with that being said, that's gonna be pretty much it. Do let me know how many of you guys are actually going to be summoning on this one. Like, won't mind dropping like 3k for this banner. Yes, no L badges, no ranged weapon, melee weapon, and shield, so that can be like the negative side of that. But I think overall it's a pretty positive banner, and I feel like everyone can definitely take advantage of that and trying to get some good 6 parts. It's just in general limited part in general. So with that being said, that's going to be pretty much it, and I'll catch you all on the next one.